Thank you all for coming today. Today is a very big day for the patients in southeastern Minnesota and for the state. This is the first it's the first outstate dispensary in the state, and so we're pretty excited to bring that to Rochester, and we've had some vigorous response from patients here. And so thank you all for coming. You can see what we were trying to do here was embrace the city, embrace Rochester, and kind of embrace an open medical concept that makes both the public and patients comfortable with what we're doing. So we're excited to provide to the patients of Rochester and the surrounding area, and so thank you guys for coming today. So let me just talk to you guys briefly through the how this works, how it flows. So patients will come in here to the security checkpoint. They'll present their ID, at which point it's confirmed that they are a member of the registry. So only patients' parents and their registered caregivers are allowed in the waiting room. And after they're in the waiting room for hopefully a short period of time, they will be picked up by one of our medical personnel, so either a pharmacist, a physician, a nurse, or a pharmacy tech. And they'll be brought back here to one of our consultation rooms here. If you guys want to take a look at this. Patients to discuss the treatment plan. After that consultation is complete, Minnesota law requires that a pharmacist does the actual dispensing, and that takes place right over here. The pharmacy windows. So you can see it's kind of a combination of a clinic and a pharmacy. So that's definitely what we're going for. You'll notice that this is substantially different than the rope lines and dispensaries in Colorado. There's no bud tenders. We actually have pharmacists and medical professionals talking to people here.
On your guys' end of things, roughly how long would it take a person from coming in here to receiving their treatments?
The first appointment's a little bit longer. We want to spend a little bit more time with our new patients. So that's taking half an hour, 45 minutes for the first appointment. After that, it's mostly a refill. Once we get the dosage settled and the formulation of medication settled, it's a refill appointment, very quick, in and out. We can answer questions at any time. We have a 1-800 number and an email that patients have been using regularly to get a hold of us and ask questions. Once they're on the medication, they can also ask questions there, and we respond as soon as we possibly can to those questions.
We do have a fast track for patients that are established, and our goal is to really make that a fast experience, like at a pharmacy when they have an established regimen. They come in and they go right up to the counter and get their medicine. So that's pretty important. So right now what we do is we do a 7-day supply for folks until they figure out what they need, and that's been very well received by patients. And that's kind of has us in the ballpark between $200 and $400 a month for patients on average. Now some folks are going to spend dramatically more than that actually. It's depending on what the problem is, what the disorder is. So it's all cash at this point. We do have an ATM here on site for patients. We do have an open banking relationship though, so we don't have to pay our employees with bags of cash or anything like that. It's just a matter of time until the credit cards and banking opens up, and we're going to be at the forefront of that battle for patient convenience. And we'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys have at this point. Any questions about this facility, our process, what's going on?
Talk about the importance of, I guess, how this facility looks and why you want people to see that it's a clinic versus how you had said with the rope lines in Colorado. Why was that important to do?
Yes, so many people are very worried about a Colorado or California type model, and it was vital to us that we dispel the myth that Minnesota is that. There's many law differences, and we feel that this is a much more medically focused law, much more patient-focused law. And so it's important to us that our dispensary and kind of its appearance reflect the medical nature of the Minnesota law.
I have been taking the patient phone calls and making appointments, answering questions. We have had several families make the trip from southern Minnesota, head up to Minneapolis, and are excited to be able to come to Rochester now.
And actually one of our patients, our first patient at 11 o'clock on Thursday, will be talking to you guys after she receives her medications. So that'll take the heat off a little bit as far as getting patient feedback. And it's a pretty remarkable story, so
yes.
We're excited for her to share that. So we're schedulers. We like to have it kind of doled out over the day. There'll be some walk-ins, but maybe a dozen, I think, is kind of our guesstimate. So that's just based on the Minneapolis volumes. So, it's been amazing results to date from many of our seizure patients and others. The medications are effective for many, and they've very limited side effects. So we're pretty excited about how it's been received in Minneapolis, and we're excited to bring it to Rochester.
Well, the July 1st was obviously a huge day, and having thought that would really never come to pass, it's really exciting to be able to do it again and spread that medicine out into southern Minnesota. We've had so many people call and so many emails and phone calls, and it is a big burden for them to try to travel, especially when you look at the conditions in Minnesota. These are sick people, sick families, and have to trek to Minneapolis, and they do have to come get the medication personally. And so it's great to be able to come down here and take that burden from them so they don't have to do the travel. And again, we've seen so much success. The stories we get, the emails, the phone calls, the Facebook, the tweets of how successful the treatment's been in Minneapolis. Like I said, it's really exciting to bring it down here too.